Hi, I'm Amanda. I am so thrilled that you're here, and I want to talk to you today about the 4 myths that I believe can hold youth mentors back from building a beautiful, sustainable youth mentor business and essentially having the impact that they want to have in the world. So, the first one is that we have to trade time for money as a youth mentor. I heard a mentor say this the other day at someone coming through our training, and he said, I'm never going to make a huge amount of money doing this work because you can only mentor so many young people at a time, right? So it's that time for money trade-off. And in this space, we don't want to be charging a ridiculous amount of money for our mentoring sessions either, right? So it can feel like there's a cap, an income cap, potential income ceiling, if you will. But I just want to gently um, share with you some ideas around why that's not the case. And the biggest thing is that for young people, especially, group mentoring is so effective. And it's also then scalable for you as the facilitator and the mentor, right? So if you can find ways to bring groups of young people together, it's they'll, they engage more, they get to learn so much from each other, they get to be in this empowered kind of leadership space as well, where they get to share what's working for them with other mentees in the group. This is beautiful exchange. And when you can facilitate that sort of engagement between the members, then all you're needing to do is bring them together, right? And hold that space. So instantly you've gone from, I've only got an hour to spend with one youth mentor to I've got an hour that I can spend, or mentee, sorry, to I've got an hour that I could spend with 15 young people or 20 young people. So absolutely looking at group mentoring is a fantastic way to do that. And you can do that in so many ways. That can be like one to many, where you're actually going into a space that already has a bunch of young people and sharing something that's really important to you and that they need to learn and understand about themselves, so that you're kind of taking them through a really transformative process on a big scale. So that could be a keynote in a school, or it could be part of a wellbeing day or wellbeing event or something like that within a school. So it can be that sort of thing. It can be a large scale event that's run outside of school, absolutely. But for you to be speaking to, hundreds of young people at a time, then it's really a keynote speech sort of thing. But another way that you can do that is with smaller groups. So just like a weekly evening that you run where there's 10 young people coming at once, or a week-long holiday program or retreat, that kind of thing, where you're bringing them together and creating this really nurturing, beautiful space. And as the mentor, you're going to set that up in a really special way so that they feel like it's a safe space to open up with everyone else around them, and you're getting to connect them with each other. So that's the first thing that I wanted to share with you. The second thing is that often mentors can feel like the people they really want to help can't actually afford the mentoring, right? And so it can feel like this thing that can't be solved. It's like, I want to offer cheap or free mentoring to people that really need it in my community, but there's no way that those kids can afford it. Their families can't afford it. It's not possible. And so when mentors have that mindset, then they can feel, they'll get out there and they'll still do this anyway because they love it and they want to, and it becomes more of a volunteer thing. But it means that it's not sustainable long term. It means that you're not getting what you need to live, right? And for some people, if it's like just a little bit of volunteering on the side and they have a full-time job and they love that job, and this is just like this extra thing that they're doing a little bit of for the fulfillment of it, then that's fine and perfect and wonderful. And there are plenty of charity and not-for-profit organizations that we can get involved in as a volunteer. But if you're looking to build this as a sustainable business, then you can still absolutely help those people. And I want to be really clear about that community of young people that you're thinking of, that you really want to support, that you feel connected to, that really need this. You can absolutely still show up for them, but it's just changing that mindset and keeping really open about how you can get paid. So Trudy LeBron talks about this in her book, the Anti-Racist Business book, I think it's called Anti-Racist Business book. And she talks about three communities. You've got your impact community, which is these young people that you really want to work with. You've got your clients that can afford to pay you as well. And then you have the ones that can pay you, right? And so if we take the example of a group of young people who are not in a position to pay for any kind of mentoring, but they really would benefit from it, then, you know, they're the impact community. They're the people that you'll help. They're the people that you deliver the services to. But the people that will pay for it, the people that you need to be marketing to and building relationships with, are the ones that can fund it. And so that can be government organizations or local councils. That can be places that provide the grants and funding, that sort of thing, like the private grants that you can get. And of course, it's different in every country and every state. But from what I've understood of the hundreds of mentors that I've worked with in 30 different countries, there are always ways to get that funding. You don't have to be a registered not-for-profit with DNR status, things like that. There are definitely funds around that will work with for-profit businesses as well and small businesses. So in case you've just kind of blocked that out of your mind as a possibility, it's absolutely a possibility, and it's just knowing where to look and how to find them, and doing a bit of research around that. So you've got the funders, you've got big businesses in your local community too that want to give back. They're often the people that will happily fund something like this, particularly if they can then, tell their communities about it. It's a win-win for win-win-win for all parties. And even the organizations themselves. So you might get to work with those people that you really want to work with within a different organization. So that could be a school, or it could be a youth organization. It could be like a mental health foundation or something like that, that's gathered the young people already, and they have the funding, and then they can engage you to come on in and run a workshop or offer some mentoring. So there's lots of ways to do it, and it means that you still get to work with the young people that really need it and that you really want to work with, but it's just getting clear on who you're building trust with and relationships with and marketing to, which will be very different to those lucky end users, those mentees that you're wanting to work with. Okay, the third one is that we need to be really great at marketing to be a good youth mentor and to build a sustainable youth mentor business. So many of the mentors that have come through our youth mentor training, I don't even have a website at this point, because something I always really encourage is starting lean and just getting started however you can early, rather than investing a lot of money and a lot of time in kind of building this beautiful picture of your business before you actually get out there and do the thing. And so for some mentors, jumping into a Facebook group, community Facebook group, where there's a bunch of parents from the local community and saying, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing. What do you think? That has been enough for them to launch their business and then get repeat clients over and over again for group programs and things like that. And so, 2 years down the track, they still haven't gone and done the website thing because they haven't needed to. The people in the community know about what they're doing and they keep coming back. And so, it's not required. For others, it's often about finding one or two ways that you can be a little bit more visible, show up and talk about what you're doing, and build that trust with the people who you're trying to build a relationship with and who will actually book in for the mentoring. So that's not usually the young people, that's usually the parents or the people that can pay. And so we don't have to be everywhere. We don't have to do all the things. We can select a couple of impactful ways to meet those parents, for example, where they are, provide some useful information for them and let them know about our offerings. And we can do that in ways that feel comfortable for us too. If you are someone that loves to get out and network with people in person, then that is where you should focus your attention and your time. If you're someone that loves to gather kind of research and write things down, then you might want to be a little bit more behind the scenes and write more like blog posts or articles for local magazines and things like that to get your name out there and build trust and authority with your community. If you're someone that likes to talk and just chat with people, then maybe you start a podcast. But what I want to be really clear about here is that you don't need to have a podcast. Be really great at in-person networking. know how to use TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all the things. You don't have to be all the places. You just need to pick a couple and show up there regularly. And the final thing is that I want you to really know that it's possible to build a sustainable business as a youth mentor because of all of the things that I've just shared. You can absolutely build practices into your business that mean that you're making the money that you need to make. And so for a lot of youth mentors, I mean, some people just do one thing and focus just on that thing. For example, one of our mentors ran these camps for quite a few years, and that was the main thing, like just getting at least 30 young people into a camp twice a year. That was how she would make most of her money that she needed for the whole year. For others, it's a little bit of everything. It's like weekly bread and butter might be running, say, 3 programs after school during the term, and maybe one afternoon a week you have a few one-on-one mentoring clients back to back, and then maybe in the school holidays you run a larger program where you make more like 15 grand or something like that in a chunk from one week, and then those young people might sign up for one-on-one mentoring with you down the track as well. It's about starting with one thing and building, because in this market as well we need to be diversifying as much as possible. We need to have multiple income streams from a variety of sources too, because when parents are feeling the pinch and they can't afford something, then you can focus more of your attention on something like getting into the schools who have that wellbeing budget for programs and for support. So yeah, it's about kind of being open and willing to explore lots of different avenues. I think that is how you build a robust business that gets you through any economic times, because you've got multiple touch points, you've got things at different price points, you've got free offerings for young people who need it that's being funded by someone else. You've got you've got a few different things going for you. So there are 4 things that I think, or 4 kind of beliefs that we can start to unpack a little bit. And I'd love to hear from you if any of these resonate for you, or if you have other things that come to mind for you that you just think, oh, I just feel like I can't do this because, I'd love to hear that and see if I can address that for you as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the work that you're already doing with the young people in your world, or, wanting to do this. It's massive. There's so many incredible young people in the world. Of course, we know that. And we know from the research that having any additional supportive adult in their life increases those protective factors for them. And we know that right now for Gen Alpha in particular, which are up to kind of 15, 16, mentoring and supportive adults in their world is the number one thing that's going to really support them. So, and if you want more information about that, I've got a whole masterclass about Gen Alpha and Gen Z and the latest research about what's going on for them, and then what's most supportive for them at this point. So check that out too. But thanks for being here, and I will talk to you really soon, I hope. Bye.